Now we've arrived in Florence and we've had a nice, easy journey, which is new for us.
We are at the Galleria dell'Accademia di Firenze. So the Accademia Galleria of Florence is the museum we're at today. And one of the most famous sculptures in the entire world is located within this museum. We're super excited to see that in just a little while. Of course, we'll share that with you. All right, so of course, one of the main reasons to come to this beautiful museum in Florence is to see the statue of the David. Of course, one of the most impressive works of art by painter and sculptor Michelangelo. This sculpture was started in 1502. But in 1501, Michelangelo had found a big piece of marble that was abandoned in front of the Cathedral of Florence, and he had to petition basically the council at the time to be able to use it to carve this sculpture. It took him about 2 years to create, from 1502 to 1504, and of course depicts the victor of David and Goliath. Of course, David defeats Goliath. So this is David. And one of the reasons this piece is so impressive is, first of all, its sheer size. This thing is huge, much bigger than you would ever be able to capture in a photo. Also, because of the level of detail, when you look at the hands and the toes, just the proportions, to work in marble on this scale and get all that stuff so perfectly is really impressive. And of course, this sculpture was originally placed in the Palazzo Vecchio out in kind of the main area in Florence, but a couple hundred years ago they did bring it inside to the museum and they replaced it with a bronze sculpture in its place, one that can take the wear and tear of the weather and whatnot. Darren, you're in for a super big treat today because this is not just any ordinary basilica. This is also the burial site of a lot of really famous people. And there's some gorgeous tombs, some of which were also sculpted by Michelangelo. So you're in for a lot of fun. I'm prepared today. So we're going into two different churches. And unlike when we went to St. Mark's in Venice, I remembered that we were doing churches and had my long skirt and my wrap for my shoulders.
It looks like they do provide them if you don't have them, because a lot of people wearing, it looks like church provided cover.
Yeah, so that was something they didn't have in Venice. You had to buy a scarf from one of the little street vendors if you forgot yours, like I did. I'm Catholic. I've been to these churches. I know better. And I just forgot. I'm only human. We make those mistakes.
How much was it?
16 for the two of us. 16 euro. So probably closer to 18 US dollars at this point for 2 entry tickets. That's not bad.
I'll just go in.
Yeah. Yep. Do you need to...
I'm just taking a load off.
Rest, yeah. So I figure we're not in a rush. You don't want to.
Yeah, just to take a minute here, get some water, and
yeah, and then head
go in where it's cooler, hopefully.
Yes, it should be. The last time I remember, it was definitely cool inside. It's kind of dark and it's nice. It's a nice break from the heat.
Cool.
But just remember.
Oops.
Just remember, again, when you come here, it's a church, so you gotta cover up, ladies.
Below the knees, no shoulders.
Yeah.
Guys, just don't wear tank tops.
Right, exactly. Just don't
Short
wear...
sleeves and shorts is acceptable.
Yeah, don't wear like really short shorts if you're a guy though either.
Yeah, no Magnum PIs.
I know it's like popular again, but like probably not good for the church tours. That's good.
So all along the walls and some exposed tombs
And floor.
on the floor or where everybody's buried in here. I don't know how many people are buried in here.
There are, it looks like there are 30 different burial sites here.
We'll just show you a few of the big ones.
So this one here is Galileo Galilei.
Yeah, like Nina said, this is the tomb of Galileo.
Mm-hmm. You know, and it's in Latin, but you can see astronomer, philosopher. Really spectacular. So he's in that tomb in the wall.
It's massive.
And of course, these tombs are works of art themselves. And it's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, you could see that's supposed to be him at the top.
Yep.
All right, and then you have Marconi. He was the inventor of the radio. It's buried right here.
So we're not sure who these people are. I mean, it's all Latin, which is obviously we don't read Latin or speak Latin, but we have this.
I can pick up a word or two, but I can't
You can
read
kind of
it.
decipher some of it. Anyways, this guy was a historian and a professor, it looks like, but we have this little guide that shows us where, or who and where is buried or entombed, and it doesn't show this whole wall except for Galileo, but they don't even note Da Vinci on this side.
And Marconi.
And Marconi.
It's weird. It's a little weird.
So this whole wall isn't marked.
So we're just going to try to read as much Latin as we can and decipher who is who.
Yeah, but everything on the other wall is noted, so
really
we'll
well labeled.
make a point to show those.
Yeah, and there's
If there's somebody, more well-known, I guess, that would make sense to talk about that person.
And there's a lot of exterior tombs on that side too that are all, like I said, kind of art pieces in and of themselves. So we'll make our way over there soon.
But again, I can't even begin to tell you how tall this ceiling is. It's a couple 100 feet high. It's unbelievable. Some quick information while I walk around the basilica. It was construction began in 1294 and was completed in 1385.
It's beautiful. So a lot of these tombs were also pieces of art. Donatello, Michelangelo, Da Vinci, all helped make the tombs for these people that are buried here. And then Michelangelo himself is buried here as well, so we'll get to see his tomb in just a second. Really, really neat. It's like a church, a museum, a cemetery, mausoleum, all kind of put into one structure, and it's really, really something special and unique.
Okay, I did some quick research.
Okay.
What's your guess on how many people are buried here?
I would say 120. Am I close?
Not even close.
How many?
Keep going.
200.
Not even close.
500.
You were colder than cold.
How many?
15,000 people are buried here.
Are you kidding? Yeah, I'd have never guessed anything close to that. It's unbelievable. I mean, obviously, like the most famous and prominent people throughout history, whether it be like Italian history or world history, have these really gorgeous tombs. But as you can see, And the floors are all these other burial sites. Every single one of these pieces is a burial site for someone that I'd have never guessed. 1,500.
15,000.
15,000.
15,000.
15,000?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said 1,500. That's even crazy. Where are they all buried?
I would be willing to bet that there are crypts underneath this basilica
Yeah.
because there are stairs in the floor
Yeah.
over there that go into the floor, and there's a gate which you can't access.
Right.
I'd be willing to bet that.
And I guarantee they're in the walls and stuff too. Like, it's got to be just everywhere. It's so cool.
15,000.
That's nuts. Again, one of a kind place. Like, if you come to Florence, this is a must-do on the list. Even if you don't love churches and you don't love art, this is something else. This is really
It's
spectacular. Yeah.
Now this is the tomb of Machiavelli. Now this is the tomb of the famous poet Dante, who died on my birthday, September 14th,
1321.
1321.
So a couple years before Darren was born.
Okay, so here's the tomb to Michelangelo.
Or if you're Italian, Michelangelo.
Michelangelo. This is one big door. Give you some scale. What do we know about the Duomo? Anything?
Okay, so this is the Florence Cathedral, otherwise known as the Cathedral of St. Mary of the Flower, which is also known as the Duomo in Firenze. The design of it began in 1296 in a Gothic style, and it was completed in 1436. So you've got all these different shades of marble. Shades of green, pink, white. It was consecrated in 1436, even though the original construction started in 1296. A long time to build. You can just see the intricate details on the front of the building here and on the bell tower as well. These beautiful sculptures and
Not with the GoPro, but trust us, it's amazing.
it's really, really beautiful.
I don't know how tall this thing is, but man, it's, I don't know, 400 feet or more.
All right, so the cathedral complex and the Piazza del Duomo, which is what this is, it's the square of the Duomo, includes the baptistry, the campanile, which is of course this bell tower here, and the church itself. And they're all three, these buildings are all a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And this of course covers what is known as the historic center of Florence. This basilica is one of Italy's largest churches, and its dome, when built back in the 15th century, was the largest ever built in Western Europe. That has since changed. Now St. Peter's Basilica, that is now what we know as the Vatican in Rome, is the largest. To say that this church is impressive would be an understatement. It's absolutely stunning and really unique. When you see the design, you know where you are, and this is absolutely gorgeous.
We gotta get tickets, I guess?
We do.
Where do we go?
We'll find out.
All right, we'll find out and we'll go inside and we'll show you the inside. Okay, we're inside the Duomo now, obviously. Sorry for the light. The light is really bad and it's very dark.
It's very dark, but it's really beautiful in its own way. The basilica that we just went to that had all the tombs was very ornate, very vibrant, just a very different feel. And this is definitely a different vibe, but really gorgeous in its own right. Lots of beautiful frescoes and artwork throughout here as well. Some beautiful sculpture. And It's an absolutely gorgeous church. Something else.
We have about an hour inside here before we can go up the bell tower.
Yeah, we have tickets to go to the bell tower. Unfortunately, to go up into the dome itself of the church, that was all booked until about a week from now. So unfortunately, we can't go up in the dome today, but we can do the church, the baptistry, and the bell tower. And that's a timed entry, so we just have to be there at a certain time so we can have our lift up to the top and see the view of Florence from the top of the bell tower, which I'm sure is going to be stunning.
Where do you want to go? Do you want to go straight down?
Yeah, you want to go straight down, then we can kind of work our way around.
All right, go right down the middle. Oh my God.
It is weird.
Go again.
I'm not ready to go again.
How high does this thing go?
Way up there.
All the way at the very top of the bell tower. What we missed because of just booked, the people are at the top of the dome across. Oh man.
That's scary.
And it's lightning out here.
To the top of this metal thing.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
So we just finished up our breakfast at this lovely little spot that we've eaten at now 3 times called the Brunch Republic.
It's really, really good. And they serve breakfast and brunch foods all day long and all night.
Yeah, so finished up that, like I said. Now we're heading to the train station for a little day trip out to Pisa.
Which is someplace I haven't been before. I came to Italy years ago when I was a teenager, as I mentioned, and this is something that we didn't do before, so I'm excited to get to see it today.
So one of the great things about Florence is it's very flat. So any walking you do is really easy, and today is no exception because we're walking from our apartment, if you would, to the train station, which is about, what, 1.5 miles?
Yeah, it's like 1.2 miles, and it takes about a half an hour, or just under half an hour. But because it's flat and it's nice and shady right now, it really just doesn't feel bad. And we're trying to save a little money because taxis are really expensive.
They are. I think our fee from the train station to our apartment was around 14 euros, and it was only less than a 10-minute cab ride. So. And
that was one of our cheaper taxi fares since we've been here in not Italy, but in Europe in general. We're spending less on train tickets than we are on like 10-minute taxi rides, which is crazy. So that's why we're just trying to walk everywhere we can.
And all they have here is Uber Black, so that fee from the train station would have been 26 euros.
Yeah, you're not really saving anything by going through Uber, unfortunately, here, because, yeah, they just don't have the regular Uber service.
That mirror just about took out my shoulder. Jesus. Okay, so we'll brief you once we get to the train station, and we'll show you our trip on the train to Pisa. Yeah, we're being very strategic about what side of the road we're walking on to stay in the shade. And right now it's going right down the middle of the road. And the sidewalks are very narrow in places.
Then we couldn't say
Sort of a one person only kind of deal. Right near the Medici Palace is this market. It's all you smell is leather goods. And it's dozens and dozens of vendors down both streets selling all their goods.
yeah. Leather is huge here in Italy in general, but Florence leather is really huge, and you can get it relatively cheaply.
I do need a belt.
Yeah, I do too.
Something to note, but it hasn't broke yet, so I might have to hold off. We are looking for platform 3.
It's kind of isolated down here by itself, so it's good. We gave ourselves a lot of time to get here.
So these are more day trains.
And it's really, you know, just short trips, little day trips and things like that. So there's no reserved seating, but we got here with plenty of time to spare. There's tons of seats, and they're comfortable. These trains are super, super comfortable, which is our experience in Switzerland too. The trains in Europe are just extremely comfortable. It's a smooth ride. Everything is very timely typically. You don't see tons of delays for the most part, and I think they're one of the best ways to travel when you're spending some time in Europe.
Ciao. Bellissimo.
What does that mean?
Beautiful.
That's right.
Arrivederci.
Which is?
See you later.
That's right. See, he's almost bilingual at this point.
See.
Trenitalia per la Francia centrale delle ore.
So I think out of all the places we've been so far, this is definitely one of the most busy.
And the funniest, because these people are all taking the quintessential pictures, and it looks so ridiculous.
The obligatory, which we're going to do.
We're totally doing it. We're going to look ridiculous
swing
too.
this around. You can see the dozens of people standing on these pillars to take all these the photos that you see on Instagram. Check this out.
It's hilarious. Definitely the funniest thing that we've seen since we've been here.
See, you should have worked on pistols like I did.
Oh my god, it's not this round and it's slippery. Okay.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna put the camera down and take photos.
Yeah.
You ready? Okay, a quick update. We are looking for a lunch spot. We managed to grab some tickets to go to the top of the tower, and that's a 3:15 time to be back. So we're just sitting in the shade trying to find some place to eat. And on this side of the tower, it's almost crowdless. There's almost nobody here, and you can get the same photos, or better photos maybe.
Probably.
Because there's nobody here. This is crazy. I'm gonna swing the camera around so you can see the difference. So when you come, avoid the crowds, get away from the crowds and get on the other side, and you can still see the significant lean to the tower and get better photos.
Yeah, get your quintessential pictures over here, probably in a shadier spot too. It's really, really hot over there. We're getting blasted by the sun earlier, and the cameras were both like overheating basically.
Yeah, and you gotta wait or be patient because there's people walking by and you can't get far enough back to get the right photos. So come to the back side by the ticket booth for the tower and sit in the shade, and at least at around lunchtime, and you can get better photos with no people. Pro tip.
Good afternoon. So we are still waiting to go up to the top of the Leaning Tower of Pisa. We had a really good lunch. We found a cute little pizza restaurant just up the street from the tower. You could actually kind of see the tower where we were at. We had a delicious Tuscan salami pizza, and we were really hot and hungry, so we forgot to film it. Our ticket that we bought included a couple other things that we could go into. So we have a time-stamped ticket for the tower, but we were able to go into I guess it's kind of like a museum dedicated to the tower, where we found some really cool information out.
Correct.
Darren's going to share some with you because he was the one that captured all of it.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, it began construction in 1173.
It's really old.
I had no idea it was this old, and they stopped in 1178 when they saw it leaning, and then they began construction again in 1272 to 1278, and then they stopped again, and then they went from 1360 to 1370, which is basically what we see today.
What we see today. Why did they keep stopping, you ask? Well, they considered it a failure. So these guys that were the architects of it and building it, they just decided that it was a total failure because it was leaning so badly. So they didn't want to put their names on it, and they just kind of stopped the project, and it sat there for a really long time without being finished.
Yes,
kind of crazy.
Yeah, and also it reached its maximum percentage of lean in around 1990 at 5.5 degrees. And it's now currently at 3.99 degrees.
So in 1990, they actually shut it down. You couldn't walk up the tower from 1990 to 2001. They shut it down. They thought it was too dangerous. And they did some work to it in that time to try to improve the lean a little bit, which is, of course, where it's at now. So, of course, now people can go back up into it again. I don't think they let, babies up there, but kids can be accompanied with a parent, and, of course, adults can go up. And we're lucky that we get to go up there because, for a long time it was kind of questionable that, people would be able to go up to the top.
Okay, we are currently in the queue to go up the tower. Here's where the tower is.
That was fast.
So close.
Yeah, we dropped our bags and water bottles and stuff off because you can't bring that type of thing up to the top of the tower.
Very convenient. Little lockers. You use your ticket and deposit your stuff in a locker. And now we're going to sit here and melt before we can get to go into the tower to climb 1 million steps to the top.
I will tell you how many steps there actually are. Darren is exaggering because he's been an absolute drama queen all day.
That's going to get edited out.
No, it isn't. It isn't. Let's be honest with people. Give them what they want, the truth. Take a look at that.
So inside the Leaning Tower now, it's obviously a very obvious lean. Yeah, so it's 58.36 meters high at the foundation and over 55 meters above the ground. Its weight has been calculated at 14,453 tons. The center of gravity is 22.6 meters above the foundation plane. Okay. All right, we're going up the stairs.
Getting our steps in today. So yesterday. Really all the days. We come in every day.
You wanna fall to the inside because of the slope of the building.
It makes you feel like a little drunk.
Yeah. You know, so as you travel around, the lean changes obviously. So then you want to fall back to the other side. It almost does feel like you're in a boat.
Yeah, you feel like you're going back and forth.
It's very bizarre. You know, so now we're coming around the other side of the building, the tower, and you want to fall to the inside. So now we're walking with the lean, and it's a much easier climb.
It's easy, yeah, it's like it feels straighter. Now it feels like we're leaning again. I can like almost feel it level out again, right here.
And another funny observation as I breathe heavy, as the lean changes, the wear pattern on the marble steps changes from the outside to the inside, because where everybody just naturally wants to walk. So now we're coming up on the first lookout point. There's two levels. I'm on the lowest level where you get out around the outside.
Lots of beer.
Yeah.
So as you go around, you can really feel how it like slopes up and then back down again and then kind of back up again. It's just the perspectives and the angles are so cool.
Now we're gonna go up the final little tiny stairwell to get to the top overlook or outlook. Small little steps, but you gotta be patient because a lot of people are coming down, with people going up, that kind of thing. I don't know if you can see the steps and how the wear because of the lean. I'll see if I can get down here and show that. So I feel like now I'm going downhill toward the back part of the lean. Okay, we made it to the top. It was an easy climb considering the climb from yesterday. So
Yeah, yesterday's was like 30 meters higher, so this felt like a piece of cake compared to that. Kind of a similar situation though, like when you're closer to the bottom, the steps are wider and there's more room for like people coming up and coming down. And as it gets higher up, everything gets more narrow, so it just makes it really challenging to squeeze past people to get up to the top. But boy, is it worth it! The views are awesome.
To the second overlook where all the bells are in the bell tower. That's the really narrow part, so it's gonna have to be patient and give way to whoever's coming down or going up.
Yeah, but totally worth doing. I mean, what a cool experience as you walk around, whether inside, like on the stairs or on the exterior platform areas. You could just feel the slope. You could feel like right now we're seated, but like we're definitely tilting to the right in our seats. But it's such a cool, unique experience in building.
Lean with me, because this is how we feel.
This is how we're leaning. And stop. But yeah, it's just, what an awesome experience. I'm so glad we made it out here. We were trying to figure out what kind of day trip we wanted to do from Florence, if we were gonna go, you know, into Tuscan wine country and do some wine tasting, or if we were to come over here. We opted for here. We just thought, you know, it was one of those things that if we didn't do it now, we may not do it in the future. So glad we did.
Absolutely. Totally worth doing.
We made it to the train station thanks to the sweetest little Italian man from Pisa, Antonio. I know you probably aren't watching this, but thank you so much. We were waiting at a taxi stand outside the Leaning Tower and there were no taxis. We'd probably be still sitting there and could have missed our train. Just the kindness of humans is really spectacular sometimes, and we met the sweetest little guy today and just can't thank him enough for getting us to our train.
Yep. Put us in the car, turned the air conditioning, and took took us right to the train. It was great.
And we got to know about him. He asked about us, immediately asked our names. I told him it was Nina. He was like, ooh, Italian? Yes, I am.
Darren?
Not Italian.
Italian.
He's an honorary Italian. We've officially brought him into the family.
Wow. I've got the hat, so that's part of half the battle.
That's right. So yeah, so just, you know, one of the things that I think is really cool about travel so far is we're meeting some of the sweetest people ever, and definitely makes our experiences that much brighter.
Yep. Good day. It's a good day.
It was a really good day.